Hey guys, today I want to show you a person that is known as a limited hogger. So she's 12, right? And this is where it gets weird. If you look at her friends, right? She has 4 people with skateboards, and they're all wearing the same accessories. The slime glasses, right? That's really weird. But then when it gets really weird, right? Look at her collection. She has a Black Iron Commando. She has 5 power faces. Now you might say, oh, maybe because she has lots of Robux, she might be like one of those girls that ask her parents for so much Robux. Well, the sad truth is yes, but you'll see in a minute. Now she's part of the group Void Wrath Owners when she doesn't actually have a Void Wrath. Now for some reason Roblox Plus isn't working, so I can't see her wrapped. But as you can see, and she doesn't even have one. That's just to make people feel happy about themselves, right? And this is where it gets sad. If you look at her inventory, no joke, pages after pages of power faces. Do you see this? Do you actually see this, guys? You might think this isn't real, but just go to her profile. I swear this is real. And then, look, she has so many skulls of Robloxia. Do you see this? Now, I don't know how she exactly got that, but what I think is that maybe she was a very old, maybe she actually used a Roblox hack that actually worked, that gave her 1 million Robux, and then she just wasted all on limiteds. But I feel like this is very scary. I could probably make some kind of creepypasta on this and explain why she has so many skulls of Roblox here, because this is actually kind of scary. If you look at her last pages of her inventory, and she has 13 pages of hats, and all these hats, well, actually, if you think about them, all these hats are actually exactly the same, and they actually show up as only one hat. So in reality, she would only have, she would have 1, 2, 3, 4. In reality, she has 4 hats. 7 actually, because in Roblox, if you have this much power faces, right, this much limiteds, it only shows it as one item, because all these items are actually exactly the same. They're just different copies. They're just copies of that item. But in Roblox, there's only one copy of this, so it's confusing. But in reality, she actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She only has 7 hats. But if you multiply that by a huge number, she actually has 13 pages of hats. But they're exactly the same. Now this is where it gets very creepy and dark. When you look at her last page, right, she has a bunch of skulls. And it looks kind of weird when you look at it like this, because it almost looks like it's a hacked inventory or something like this. And I just stumbled across this when I just searched up power face. And what's really annoying is that she's selling all of these power faces for a power face for $399. As you can see, there's people, right? And see, that's normal. You see, they have 15. But if you scroll down a bit more, this is where it gets insane. And I feel like limiteds that are like this, for example, I remember this was on the Black Friday sale, I think. And what's really annoying is that this was about 90 Robux. I think it was 50 or 90. I think it was, I'm not so sure. And it's really annoying because you have these people who are trolling, and you have just these limited hoggers that just hog all their limited and sell them for exactly the same price. I don't know if there's an option to sell all your limits for this one price, but as you can see, and you know what's really annoying is that this goes on for quite a long time, and they're all exactly the same price. Now, I don't know what happens if you buy one. Maybe it buys all of them, but I don't think it would. Only buy one copy of it. And this is what's really annoying, is that it almost looks like she's actually a hacker, right? Because it's always the same, right? And this goes on for quite a long time. I just stumbled across this, and I was like, ooh, who's selling this? And I just realized that it's only this much, and then I just stumbled across this person, and I was like, oh, that's really annoying. because right now there's a brand new limited and it's like 250. It's called the Dangerous Eye Patch, and I got it, and I really do hope that people aren't gonna like screw this item up like they did. But I think there is a bit of hope for that item, because if you look at, for example, those faces that they put on Labor Day sale, the Cyclops faces, the colored ones, those ones were, for example, one of them was 250, one of them was 150, one of them was 25, and another one was like, I don't know, but there were 4. And they people sold them for 600, between 600 and 800, and one of them, the red one, went to 1,000. And so I hope people do pay attention for this. And as you can see, this just is so let's talk about this. It just makes a chain, but then you have this guy who just completely breaks the chain, and then it just keeps on going, keeps on going. As you can see, it keeps on going, keeps on going, keeps on going, keeps on going, keeps on going. And this is very annoying. The more I look at her image, it's just trippier. And then the chain breaks. As you can see, there's people selling it for 400 finally. I don't know if this goes on forever. And yeah, but you can see that these limiters are kind of annoying, because people are just selling them for just a single price and just with different values, as you can see. Like this item, it goes up to like a very high amount, but very slowly, as you can see. Like there are repetitive amounts of for the copies, like for example, and I feel like no one's gonna really buy that for 200. These people are just like, and like some people are even selling it for 10,000. Now here there's less people who are actually selling it, but I feel like for example, there are people selling it for these amounts thinking that they would get rich really quickly, and that's not the case. I found out when I had my first limited, which I sold for like 1 Robux. But you can see this little scroll bar is just insanely big. Like this would take me about, like if I was scrolling individually, like right now I'm just look, it's not even letting me scroll up. Like there's so much. Like if you didn't have internet, this would take up a lot of of gigabytes. And yeah, that's all about this video. I just want to talk about this weird person who actually might actually be a hacker. Now leave your suggestion in the comment if this person right here is a hacker. Now I think she might be a hacker. And she has like the default profile, and like I think she's a hacker. But leave your opinion down in the comments below.